Shalom, my friends. Chaim Malevsky here about family programs with some beautiful, deep, mystical insights into the Lulav shake and our upcoming holiday. I'm gonna do the chin thing for a moment. And there's so much depth and beauty in this holiday. Over the past few days, Baruch Hashem, I was able to shake together with my family and friends about 150, take the Lulav with about 150 others. This shirt helps a lot. My wife designed it. Just had to show that off a little bit. I think you could see it. Okay. That's a Lulav, Share the Lulav shirt that my very own in-house design publishing designed. So, what do I tell everybody? Every person I shake with, I try to share the point of what I'm going to share now, which I learned in a Maimer and Hasidic discourse from the Alter Rebbe, who talks in detail, in graphic detail, about the mitzvah. But this so we have the mitzvah to shake, to take, and bless, and we wave to create an awakening with the four kinds. The Torah doesn't tell us what the esrog is. It just says pre-Eitz Hadar. Let's say this very quickly. I'm going to share 2 points now. One about the Lulav shake, another one about the overview of our courtship and marriage to God that happens in these holidays. So, the Torah doesn't say what the esrog is. It just says pre-Eitz Hadar. It is a fruit of a tree that lives. And the word Hadar means it lives. It also means beautiful. And it also means, the Talmud says, the one that lives, the fruit that lives on the tree all year round. So what is this fruit? This esrog, this citron fruit that we know now as a citron. Mystically speaking, it is the fruit of the eitz, of the tree of life, Eitz HaChaim, which represents God. That's the Eitz HaChaim, and it's Hadar. It lives all year round, it's always there, it's beautiful. And what is the fruit of this living tree, this life-giving tree, Eitz HaChaim, the life-giving tree? The fruit is the love that God has for the Jewish people and for the nations of the world, but in our case, the Jewish people, in his heart. It's the love that he has deep in his heart. It's the core of God's heart. That's the fruit of his heart. That's the esrog. So the esrog represents God's love for the Jewish people. The Lulav, date palm branch, it's a very long, thin, tall branch that represents a pipeline that reaches up all the way to the heavens and accesses that love in God's heart and brings it down to our shake, to our Lulav and esrog experience. So when we take the Lulav and esrog, the set, and we hold it in our hands, we're reaching up through the Lulav to God's love. I just happen to notice as I'm looking up and I see this beautiful apple tree. Hold on one second. Right here in Central Park. Is this for real? Look at that. Right there. This is one of the opinions of the Eitz HaChaim, of the tree of life, or Eitz HaDas, tree of knowledge, was that it was an apple tree. I never saw that before. Anyway, going back to our, oh, and there's a hawk. I'm getting distracted by the beauty of the nature of the world. Go away. Okay, so we have the pre-Eitz Hadar, which is the esrog, which is God's love for the Jewish people. We're accessing it through the Lulav, which is a pipeline that brings down God's love into the Lulav and esrog experience, and we bring it into our heart, and we wave it, and we shake it gently. Gently, keyword gently. Don't shake it hard because it might invalidate the Lulav. If the leaves split at the top, it's not kosher anymore. So very gentle shake, but we do shake it. We shake it to awaken our hearts and to awaken God's love for us. And we shake it to the right. We send it to the right side and to all directions and bring it back into our heart. Okay, we send it out to the right and bring it back to our heart. Send it to the left and bring it back to the heart. Send it forward and bring it back to our heart. So we're sending it out, sending our love back to God. And the Lulav, the word Lulav, if you split it in Hebrew, it's Lamed Vav, Lamed Vet. You can split the word into lo, to Him, to God, Lev, our heart. Our heart is dedicated to God alone. And that is the mitzvah of Lulav. It's a beautiful meditation. Think about it when you shake the Lulav and the esrog today and tomorrow, all the way through Friday. And you can share it with your friends. That's one part of the topic, of today's topic. Another part is a beautiful overview, which you can find out more about in detail on the yeshiva.net from Rabbi Yossi Jacobson. Amazing, beautiful exploration of the whole series of the holidays. And I'm going to repeat in a condensed version, just a few minutes of his very elaborate, eloquent exploration. And that is as follows. We start off with the understanding that our relationship with God is like a marriage. It's a marriage between God and the Jewish people. And we learn about our marriage with God from our marriage with other humans in this world. A husband and wife relationship. The month of Elul is a month of courtship. It's the dating process. We're reconsidering, do we want to be in this relationship or not? That's the month of Elul. And we think about it and we prepare ourselves. We take stock of the previous year and we think about the future. And comes Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is the proposal, where God proposes to the Jewish people and says, Tamlichuni alechem. Please, marry me. Marry me, says God to the Jewish people. And what do we say? On Erev Rosh Hashanah night, we say, God, let me think about it till tomorrow. Give me a night to think about it. And then we come back with great grandeur, with a blast of the shofar, and we say, I hereby accept. I do. And that is our acceptance of God's proposal of this marriage between God and the Jewish people. And then comes Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is the wedding. It's the wedding ceremony. It's like under the chuppah, when everybody's dressed in white, like a kala's dress. The bride's dress is white. We're all the bride. God is the groom. God is the chassan. We're the kala. We start off Yom Kippur with Kol Nidre, with releasing ourselves of any inhibitions in this relationship and committing to a positive relationship. We end the wedding in the yichud room, where the chassan and kala, the bride and groom, come together and they seclude themselves, where that is that ne'ilah. The ne'ilah prayer on Yom Kippur is when God and the Jewish people are alone in the room with no one else. After that, we break out into a dance. That's the holiday of Sukkot. Sukkot is every night there's dancing in the streets. In the temple it was, in Crown Heights, pre-COVID, and all over the world. There's the Simchas Beis HaShoeva, there's the dancing in the streets. That's the wedding. Then it's time to go home And that's Shmini Atzeres. A Midrash says that Shmini Atzeres is after the great celebration of Sukkot. There's 7 days of Sukkot. God says, Bayom HaShmini Atzeres Tiyeh Lachem. On the 8th day, the Torah says, stop, come inside. Atzeres means stop, also means gather and absorb. So God is asking us to be with Him alone during the month of Sukkot, during the holiday of Sukkot. The Jewish people celebrated actually with all the nations of the world and offered sacrifices for all the nations. On Shmini Atzeres, there's only one sacrifice for the Jewish people and God to be together. It's the consummation of the marriage between God and the Jewish people. That's Shmini Atzeres and Simchas Torah. There's great joy in the consummation of the marriage. It's also a private time. So we go back to our homes, go out till we leave the sukkah, go back into our homes, and we reconnect with God in a deep way. The Kabbalah tells us that Shmini Atzeres is also the conception, the time where the Jewish souls are conceived up in heaven. That's Shmini Atzeres. And Simchas Torah, same holiday for us in the diaspora. In Israel it's 1 day. In America, outside of Israel, it's 2 days. So the conception, the seeds of our souls are conceived on Shmini Atzeres and Simchas Torah. And then they're born after the pregnancy of the winter. They're born in the spring during Pesach, at the splitting of the sea. The splitting of the sea is the birth of the souls of the Jewish people. And so too on Shmini Atzeres, in a more global way, we pray for rain. We ask God to bring rain into this world. And rain is akin to the seeds of life that impregnate Mother Earth with what it needs to grow. And throughout the winter, it's developing, and in the spring it sprouts and it gives birth to life, to the vegetation of the world, the plant and the produce. That's an overview. And then what happens after Simchas Torah comes the month of Cheshvan. What's in the month of Cheshvan? Nothing. I was born in that month. But aside from that, there's no Jewish holidays. Nothing at all. The month of Cheshvan is a quiet, peaceful month where the husband and wife, God and the Jewish people, get together and start living real life together without any fanfare. Just growing, getting to know each other, enjoying the time together with no surprises, no interferences. And they build a beautiful home together forever. God bless you. Happy Sukkot, happy Shmini Atzeres and Simchas Torah. Do what you can to get a Lulav and Esrog if you haven't done it yet. Go into a sukkah. If you live on the west side, you can pop into our porch, 45 West 86th Street. Open sukkah for all. If you have your own Lulav and Esrog, get out there on the streets. Get people to make the bracha. Don't hibernate. Sukkot is the time to get out. Invite people to your sukkah. Safely, of course. You can do it. God bless you.